Welcome to the Gentlemen's Club live with your host, the commissioner, and the three-time champ, Andrew Simon. This guy's been in the championship game the last 2 years, and he's won 50% of the time. It's Eric Hastert. And this guy is in a 10-man league. We've had 9 different champions, but he's not one of them. It's Brian Hastert.
Welcome back, everybody. It's fantasy football season again. We are here. All right, my audio's working. It's been a minute since I've used this thing, so bear with me. Simon has taken the first couple weeks off, kind of like Puka Nacua. He's putting himself on IR for a little bit. That was just terrible for Caleb. But yeah, fantasy's back. I'm stoked. Got my first win, week 1. It had to be against Mitch. Sorry, Mitch. But let's just go ahead, take a look at the standings. Not much going on with the standings as it is just week 1. But as you expected, 5 people won, 5 people lost. A lot of points were scored. Some people down here didn't even break 100. Not a good starting week, but we'll get into that here in just a second. First, I wanted to just kind of take a quick look at our draft recap. We didn't really have a week 1 video. So I wanted to just take a quick look, maybe spot some good picks here, spot some bad picks here. Overall, the draft was great. Thank you, A-Ray, for hosting. It was fun outside of golf. Once again, A-Ray won. Surprise, surprise. No one saw that coming. Kibbs, let's start with Mitch. He had the first overall pick, didn't he? I think Mitch had the first overall pick. He took... Did he? No, Dylan had the first overall pick. What am I talking about? Why does it say number 2? Simon messed that up big time. Dylan taking CMC. We already know how that's going. He's going to miss this week. Most likely, they're saying 3 to 4 weeks. I don't know why they didn't just start the season on IR, but that really sucks. No one saw that coming. I got CMC in another league. I didn't get Jordan Mason because some asshole picked him up randomly, like on Thursday. When everyone thought CMC was playing, but that could be a bad pick. Who knows? A-Ray, 4-Pete. Oh, yeah. Well, it must be nice, Must be nice. You pick Sycamore Ridge, freaking hard course. Couldn't do anything out there. Partner wouldn't pick me up. He didn't do shit out there. Anyways, back to draft. So CMC, we don't know yet. Marvin Harrison, you could potentially 2 busts. Malik Neighbors, we don't know yet. Daniel Jones has thrown more touchdowns to the other team than to his own team in the last 30 games or some random bullshit. I can't remember what the actual number is, but that is a true fact. And if Daniel Jones doesn't pick it up, hopefully they can get someone else that's better, because Malik Neighbors, that would just be a waste of talent there. Lamar solid. Javonte, who knows now. Overall, your draft for the first overall pick wasn't great. I'm gonna grade that. I'm gonna grade this with a B- for the first overall pick. Going to the second, Mitch took CeeDee Lamb, solid. I think you had to at that point, and he still did pretty well in the first week, I think. Most likely. Kelsey, I think, was a reach. I don't know if he's going to finish in the top 5 this year. Jacobs is okay. This is going to be the steal right now. Just with Puka hurt, they're saying he could miss more than 4 weeks, so Cooper Kupp could be the guy all season. My baby is screaming downstairs. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm just up here doing fantasy football stuff. I like Zay Flowers. Deontay Johnson, Carolina Panthers suck. But Xavier Worthy, another steal, I think. We'll see what Jonathan Brooks can come back, if they even bring him back, because they suck. Second overall pick, I think you got a lot of picks for last place this year in the betting for who's going to finish last. I'm going to say C right here. C, grade C. Not looking great. It sucks for you. I think the third pick, who was it? Was it Brian? No, Brian won last year. I'm stupid. Oh, Miller with the third pick. Saquon Barkley. I love that pick. We already see that he is going to have a good year. I really wanted him this year. Unfortunately, I only got him in one other league, but he's on the best team he's ever been on. And I think he's about to be RB1 or RB2 or 3. He's going to be in the top 3 at the end of the season. I have a good feeling. Hurts isn't going to get the tush push as much because Barkley's going to punch it in. Etienne Jr., Bigsby's already taking carries. You don't like that. Kamara looked good. Your wide receivers are okay. DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, he's already hurt. I don't like your tight end. Your quarterback is okay. I think he'll be solid. You did get him late, which was nice. Chris Godwin was a good steal. That's going to be a value pick right there. Everyone else can really go to hell. I like your running backs. Your wide receivers are okay. You get a B+. Good job, Justin. Looking at Brady, take a Bijan, keeping Amon-Ra. You like that combo, although week 1 was not good for Amon-Ra. Jalen Waddle, solid. Stevenson, actually surprising. There could be value at that pick. Zamir White, that could be the bust of the draft. He's already getting out-snapped and out-carried by Alexander Madison. So that sucks for you. T. Higgins didn't even play. Jordan Love's hurt. Zach Moss is splitting carries. Jake Ferguson's hurt. Blake Corum wasn't even on the field on Sunday. Romeo Doubs is like wide receiver 5 on that team. Ravens defense is good. Overall, Brady, your top 2 picks are good. Waddle, solid. I like your top 4 picks. I'll give you that. Overall, though, not looking great. You might be getting the second most votes for last place this year. I'm going to give you a C+. Number 5. Who was it? Was it Dustin? Is Dustin 5? We're going to go with Dustin. We're just going to take a look at Communist Harris after last night. Who knows about how that's going to go. Tyreek Hill with the first pick. He got arrested before the game, and we all know how that goes. If you get arrested before your game, before your tournament, you're going to go off. And he did. He had like 130 yards and a touchdown. Loving the pick with Tyreek Hill. He is old. Will he make it the whole season? We don't know. Dustin did a different strategy this year. 0 RB. Usually he goes 12 RB. He went 0 RB this year. Took a lot of wide receivers. I feel like one of them should hit. Didn't look too great for Drake London in week 1, but it was the Steelers. We'll see what happens this week. Josh Allen balled out like usual. Ayuk finally got a deal done, so that helps you. Najee seems to be the guy right now. Mike Evans, though, that was a good keeper. We saw in week 1, Baker is going to throw him the ball. So pretty solid. And he kind of walked away with the steal in Jerome Ford. I think he's going to play more than people think, and Brian Robinson. So waiting on running back wasn't terrible. They're not going to get you 20 points every week, but they should have a solid 8 to 12, I think, every week. So not taking running backs. It was a risky move. I'm a big running back guy. I still think you're solid here. I'm going to go B+ for Dustin. Moving on to A-Ray. Rashee Rice ended up being a very good pick. He's not going to get suspended, and he's getting fed like crazy from Mahomes. So great keeper there. You love Gibbs. You love Pacheco. Great 1 and 2 picks there. Both had good weeks. Debo, solid. He's like, with CMC out, he's their RB2 right now. So he's getting carries. He's getting passes. He's getting yards. He's getting touchdowns. Debo Samuel, great pick. Stephon Diggs, we'll see. 30 yards on 6 catches isn't great, but he did have 2 touchdowns in week 1. I still think it was a little early for Diggs, but someone probably would have taken him. You got Kincaid. We'll see how he does. James Conner's okay. I like Stroud. Adunze, maybe. Brock Bowers was actually pretty solid, so that could be a steal for you. And I think you already dropped Jalen Warren, so I can't really give you credit there. Dowdle was okay. Charbonnet, we'll see. A-Ray's draft, not terrible. I think you're about average all around, pretty solid. Overall, though, I think I'm going to give you an A- on the draft. A- to Rashees Road Warriors. Moving on to Simon. Jamar Chase, big question mark there. We didn't know what was going to happen. Was he going to play? Was he not going to play? He played. Not very good, but he played. So that's a good sign that he'll play this season. Maybe not a wasted pick for your first pick. Joe Mixon seems to be back with a vengeance in Houston. That could be a steal. Same with Aaron Jones. He looked really good as well week 1. We'll get to that. I'm sorry. I should be grading the draft. Jalen Hurts is your 4th pick. I like Trey McBride. Jonathan Taylor is your keeper in the 6th. Was very solid. Wide receivers are going to be a little shaky. We don't know how that's going to pan out. They both have different pieces this year. But Jameson Williams might be one of these steals of the draft, if not the steal of the draft, after he performed in week 1. Overall, Simon, not bad. Running backs are average, but they could overperform. So I think you also get an A- here. Pretty solid draft for Simon. Moving on to the 8th pick, which I believe was – who the fuck was 8th? Caleb, with Justin Jefferson and Puka Nacua on the first 2 picks. those are good picks. It really sucks that Puka's hurt, but draft-wise, solid receivers. That's what you want to go for. Going with Mahomes, I think he is going to have a really good year this year. I like James Cook. Tony Pollard seems to be the guy. Amari Cooper, we'll see how Cleveland is. They are pretty shitty, as they are the Browns. Pickens, we'll see. Solid first week. Sam Laporta, that was your keeper. Very good keeper. Jaden Reed, another good steal. Once Jordan Love's back. He ain't going to do shit with Malik Willis, but once Love is back, Jaden Reed, top 15 wide receiver for sure. Trey Benson, okay. Adonai Mitchell, not a bad draft here overall as well. Pretty good on the wide receivers. You really need to get Puka back sooner rather than later, but you got some decent depth there. Running backs are okay. I'm going to say B+ for Caleb. And then looking at my team, I got an A+ here. We don't even need to look at it. Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown falling into the second. I will take that. Nico Collins, stacked at wide receiver. Running backs are solid. We'll see how Derrick Henry does. They had to throw a lot last week. I think going forward will be fine. David Montgomery still getting touches, still getting goal line carries. Anthony Richardson opening up with a bomb. Calvin Ridley, Brian Thomas Jr., and Njoku. My tight ends kind of suck. I would probably give myself actually like an A-. A- on my draft. Not the best, not the worst, but pretty damn good. Brian. Going Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams. He went Devontae over A.J. Brown. Let's remember that. Kenneth Walker seems to be solid so far. Rashad White, DK Metcalf, Kyler. Kept Kyron. That was a great keep. Nick Chubb, I think, was a waste of a pick, and here's why. He is on the PUP list, but they have no timetable for when he's going to return. It could be 6, it could be 8, it could be 9 weeks. We don't know. Nick Chubb's leg literally broke in half last year. Who knows if he'll even recover? I think that was a wasted pick. Same with Samuel and Chuba. Not a great draft for Brian. B-. B- there. That is the draft recap. Sorry, that took forever. Let me see what I got going on over here. Okay. Here we go. All right, let's get into week 1 recap. Got to turn that down now. All right. Look at the week 1 box scores. We're going to start with my game right here, me versus Mitch, and poor decisions. Little too soon, Mitch. A little too soon. But your name fits the bill. You made some poor decisions. You left 19 points, 20 points on your bench with Xavier Worthy. I know he was a later draft pick. You probably don't want to start him week 1. You don't know how he's going to do, but he did very good. It still would not have helped you regardless. Joe Burrow sucked ass. The Bengals are going to suck ass. I have that feeling all year. Josh Jacobs, he got fed. Did he do good? He did okay. Devon Achane, though, that was a good keeper. I think he's going to be great all season if he can stay healthy. I think he's already hurt. CeeDee Lamb, not the best week. It was the Browns, and their defense was doing everything, so whatever. But Cooper Kupp, man, he could be 2021 Cooper Kupp, and if that's the case, he'll win you a championship as he did me. Kelsey underperforming. Zay Flowers, can't bet against the Chiefs here. When you play against the Chiefs, you suck. And then the Titans defense was a bit of a reach. When I told you, I asked, well, why did you draft him? He said the Jerry Sneed. I was like, well, there's more to defense than one player. My team, Brees Lightning. Go Brees Lightning. Anthony Richardson popping off in week 1. You love it. My running backs were okay. Brees Hall obviously getting that touchdown help, but he really didn't look too hot. It was also against the Niners. A.J. Brown, though, what a beast. 20 points. Had a huge catch in that game and a touchdown. You just love to see it. And Nico Collins, he's getting the catches, he's getting the yards, but Diggs is stealing the touchdowns. That could be a problem for me. In the long term, Njoku got hurt. Wasn't great. I made a decision in week 1. I didn't start my drafted player, which was DJ Moore. I went ahead and swapped out David Montgomery for DJ Moore just because we didn't know what it was going to look like. And then my kicker, 21 points. I mean, that's why you draft kickers a little bit early, okay? Brandon Aubrey is money from 50 yards. Solid performance from my team. Moving on. This was a close one here. 132 to 139. We had some high scores. It was a battle. I think it came down to, did Justin have? Yeah, he had Kittle and Greg Zuerlein on Monday night. It came down to those two, and they just couldn't get it done. Zuerlein had 1 point. in a week where kickers were going fucking crazy. You had 50-yard field goals left and right in those early games on Sunday. Monday night was not good for kickers. 1 point didn't help you. You really needed, you lost by 8. So, yeah, if he would have got you like 10, say like Tyler Bass, you would have got that win. That really sucks. It came down to Monday night. Overall, though, your team was solid. Really helped Saquon getting 32 on Friday. Dak underperformed, but like I said, defense picked up there. Etienne was okay. Devontae Smith was okay. Chris Godwin, very good. Like I said, I think he will be the steal of the draft. And then Kamara, very good as well. Steelers looking good too. Sucks. You got the Hastert Luck Award this year. Draft kickers early. That is true. We'll get to Moody in a second, but A-Ray did pick up a kicker, and it worked out for him. Will it work out all season? We don't know. Anyways, going over to Dustin's team, fucking Josh Allen wanting to be QB1 again, even without Diggs. His wide receivers are all new. He didn't really throw to Kincaid. He just ran the ball, and that's what you want out of a fantasy quarterback. Najee Harris, who knows? Who knows what will happen in Pittsburgh? Supposed to be a better O-line, but as of right now, not looking good. Drum Ford, solid pick in the draft. Tyreek and Mike Evans, 2 old dogs. You should just name your team 2 old dogs, because I think Tyreek's like 30, 31, and he's like 35 now. Still putting up big fucking numbers. Mark Andrews is non-existent against the Chiefs. That sucks. And then Drake London, same. That was kind of shitty, but I think better days ahead there. And then is Dustin going to get carried by a defense again this year? We'll see. He did pick the Cowboys. They are very good. And then 10 from Bass. Got you the dub, Dustin. Communist Harris takes the win. Looking at your bench, Zeke actually had a solid day, and Brian Robinson. So you've got some depth there. You got some decisions to make this week. Moving on. Brady versus Simon. Not really close here. Not the performance Brady was hoping for in week 1. Looking at hi, Charlotte. We got a new viewer watching us. All right. Looking at Brady's team, Jordan Love, 20 points is okay from a quarterback. It sucks he got hurt. 3 to 6 weeks is what they're saying. But he looked damn good against the Eagles. Bijan, they're using him better than with Arthur Smith, so I think he'll have a good season. Solid. Ramondre with 20 points was very good. I don't think anyone really saw that coming. It's a good pick, Brady. Maybe he can keep it up all season. Very underperforming performance here from Amon-Ra. You don't like it. Better days ahead, though. Jalen Waddle, solid. Everyone else, not great. Jake Ferguson got hurt. Just rough. And your depth, like I said, is atrocious. Like, didn't even play. I mean, he got 13 points. Oh, yeah, he did get into the end zone, didn't he? He got 9 carries and 2 catches. So 11 touches, not great, what you want from a running back. But 13 points isn't bad. Would have helped you in this one had you played him. Looking at Simon, going for his 4th title. Will he do it? No one knows. Jalen Hurts, very good like always. Joe Mixon, one of the surprise picks, I think, or pickups, I guess, in the league this year. Joe Mixon, everyone thought he was washed. Comes out, puts up 25. One of the best performing running backs this week. You got to love it. Even outperforming Jonathan Taylor. That one was tough. Like I said, better days ahead there. Everyone thought he was going to go off this week, but he did not. Subpar from the wide receivers. Not a good day here. Trey McBride, same. Kyler wasn't even looking at McBride or Marvin Harrison. What was he doing? Nobody knows. But Aaron Jones, I don't know if you know this, but back in the day, I made a trade with Aaron Jones saying he was going to be a top 5 running back in the next season. I think he finished number 2. Yeah, that's right. I was right. Good pick there. Jameson Williams, though, you're going to have to start him going forward. I feel like 21 points, that's hard to bench going forward. But good way to start your war for 4. Simon takes it. Looking at Brian and Caleb. Not a big high-scoring affair here. It was pretty close. It did come down to Monday night, and unfortunately, Garrett Wilson just came up short. Byron was really hoping for like 15, 16 out of Garrett Wilson. He had 9 points without a touchdown. That's actually pretty solid. But the Jets just did not do well in that game. I still think he'll be fine. Same with Devontae Adams. That one's kind of concerning. Minshew's going to feed him, though. He'll be fine going forward. Kyler, not a great week. Rashad Wright, Kyron, pretty average weeks there. You were hoping for a little more out of Kyron Williams, but it wasn't the best. But Kenneth Walker, Beast mode, Kenneth Walker. He is hurt. That sucks. He gets you 18 and then he gets hurt. It is what it is. Kyle Pitts is back though. Could be a steal at tight end the way things are looking right now. Just an underperforming week for Brian. I think better days ahead there. But yeah, Kenneth Walker, solid pick there. Looking at Caleb's team, Mahomes, that's probably like his floor, 18 points. He's not going to score under 18 points the rest of the season, I don't feel like. He'll do better. The Ravens defense is solid. James Cook didn't get in the end zone. He should get in the end zone at least 60% of the weeks, so that'll go up. But Tony Pollard looked good. He looked like the running back one. He looks like he's getting everything over Tajay Spears. So that could be a good pick for you. Justin Jefferson is a ghost. Why is he a ghost? Because Sam Darnold sees ghosts, and he hit Justin Jefferson left and right all day, which is a good thing because Sam Darnold actually played very well. Everyone was questionable about Justin Jefferson, how he's going to do. 14's not good for him, but it's solid. It's good for a wide receiver. I think he'll be good all season. And then the loss of Puka Nacua Rip. I have him in another league. I kept him in the 8th round. It is pretty shitty that he may miss like 6 weeks is what they're saying. We'll see. But that's not good. That really hurts. One of your first 2 picks, he's already gone. Better days for Laporta. Solid outing from George Pickens. I don't even think he didn't have a touchdown, did he? 6 for 85. Yeah, so he didn't have a touchdown. So 10 points is solid from your flex with no touchdown, and then your defense did solid too. Bench-wise, not great outside of Jaden Reed. That really could have helped you. Even though you won, that really could have helped you. But going forward, who knows with Malik Willis throwing the ball. Brian's depth, not looking great either. Ladd McConkey did get in the end zone, but DK, that is very disappointing. Close one. Brian takes the loss. Not a good start for the defending champ. Hope better luck next week. And moving on to Alex Ray, Rashi's Road Warriors versus Won't You Be My Neighbors, and Dylan Stork, the number 1 pick in the draft. He didn't have CMC, but he did do a quick sub with Jordan Mason. Smart, very smart. He got 21 points, but it just wasn't going to be enough in this one. Lamar getting you 28, very good. Javonte, bad week from Javonte. Chris Olave did bad. Marvin Harrison got 1 catch. Evan Ingram, and he'll be better, but man, 3 points combined here, 4 points combined between 3 players is not great. And then the league neighbors somehow getting 9 points with Daniel Jones thrown to him. You got to be happy. Best kicker on your best player on your team is your kicker, outside of Jordan Mason. I mean, 17 points, damn. But it was not going to be enough for Alex's team. CJ Stroud, good week. Running backs were very solid here. Deebo Samuel, like I said earlier, he's running the ball, he's catching the ball, he's going to be good all year. And then Rashee Rice, 13.8 points with no touchdown. You've got to love that. That just means better days ahead for him. Kincaid was non-existent on the field. I don't know what happened there. That's supposed to be his number 1 target this year, but he was non-existent. So hopefully he can get better. I know A-Ray went out and picked up a tight end today. We'll talk about that here in just a second. James Conner, steady James Conner. He'll probably get hurt at some point, but he is a steady Eddie. And then Jake Moody, like A-Ray said, 26 points, outscored every single person other than Lamar on Dylan's team. When that happens, you're not going to win. It's tough, but you're not going to win. I just saw he didn't even start Stephon Diggs. I mean, I don't see who you would have started him over. It was his first game with the Texans, but now going forward, we can at least put up some points. And then depth-wise, not looking great. Brock Bowers is okay. We'll see what Rome does, but I think he's also hurt. Good win, A-Ray, starting out 1-0 in that 3rd place spot. I wanted to look at waivers just real quick. What am I doing? Let's go with, I think this was the first one. Brian picked up Wright, Kendra Miller. So no one here really that made a difference. Kind of some terrible pickups, honestly. But looking at what went through today, we had some money spent. $329 on A-Ray for likely. Seems like a bit of an overspend. I already told him this because he already has Dalton Kincaid and Brock Bowers. But hey, he's a big tight end guy. He wants his tight ends. He will likely be a solid option all season. 156 on Alan Lazard. Nobody else bid on Alan Lazard. You are a clown, bro. He got a last-second touchdown from their backup quarterback with like 10 seconds left in the game. He could be solid all season. I bet on him to score a touchdown. He scored a touchdown. I won $150, just as much as you spent here to get him when you could have got him for $1. Terrible spend, but may pan out as a flex option later. And then J.K. Dobbins, I think, was probably going to be the hottest one here. I'm surprised he only went for $150. There were some multiple $100 bids on him, and Brian ended up getting him for $150. Not a bad spend. I like it. He seems to be like he's going to be the guy as long as he can stay healthy. We all know he gets hurt, but it is what it is. And then Baker, solid pickup as well. I think he's going to have a good season. All right. What we got here? All right. Let's go to – oh, yeah, I was going to do this too for the recap. Got some points here or some awards here. Highest points was obviously Dustin. Bottom of the pile was Brady. Bragging rights, A-Ray won by 38.15 points. Biggest win this week, bad beat. Ryan lost by 6 points. Hastert luck, that's how it's always going to be, especially in week one. Caleb got lucky. Would have finished 3-6 if he played other people this week. And then not so lucky. Justin went 7-2. Would have only lost to 2 people. The one person he played and me. But, that sucks. Sharpshooter, what is that? 100% accuracy. So you started everyone that you should have started. So not much else you can do. You can't be upset with that loss. And then defense wins championships. Got the 23 points from the Dallas D. Here's the standings. Had you played everyone in the league this week? Looks like me and Dustin at the top. And obviously Justin. And then you can see the rest from there. Yeah. All right, moving on. We are going to look at week 2 matchups real quick, though. It is 9/11. Never forget. And just like 9/11, never forget how Justin got very lucky and the league screwed me out of a championship. I will never forget. I will wear this shirt proudly all the time. All right. Real quick, let's start with we got a few good matchups this week. So let's just start with a couple of the bigger deficits here. And box score. All right, looking at Brian versus Dylan. Someone's going to get a win. Both 0-1 teams, 8th and 9th. The edges to Brian right now by about 11 points, 124, 113. Edges to Dylan and QB. I think I stand with that. We play the Raiders. We all know how the Raiders suck. The Rams actually shut down Jared Goff, so not a bad or not a good matchup here for Kyler Murray. Rashad Wright against a good defense. I don't like that one either. Kyron Williams should eat, though. Arizona's defense is atrocious. I think Kyron Williams definitely hits this 19, maybe even more. Garrett Wilson, same. That's an easier defense than they played last week. He will be shadowed by Snead, and we all know how good Snead is. So I think 10 to 14 is about where he'll land. He won't go any higher. Adams, we'll see. Playing Baltimore, you don't like it. Pitts at Philly, that's okay. If Kenneth Walker plays, you don't hate it. He had a good week last week. It is the Patriots, and the Patriots always have a good defense. So you never know. But I still think the edge is there. Looking at Dylan's team, will he sub out Javonte Williams? We don't know. Jordan Mason should start. You don't like that matchup. You love this matchup. You don't like this matchup. Chris Olave had a dud in week 1. Will he bounce back in week 2? We'll see. Same with Marvin Harrison. There's a lot of chatter in Arizona about him not getting the ball. So I think he will get fed this week. But Kyler did say it's not his fault he didn't get the ball. It was the offensive coordinators. You don't like to hear that from the quarterback. It is the quarterback's job to get Harrison the ball. Ingram, better days ahead. I like this, even with this matchup. I think he'll be solid. And then Neighbors against Washington. I think he gets in the end zone this week. So I think this one's going to end up being a little closer, but I'm still going to give the edge to Brian. I think Brian's team is just overall better. Until Dylan gets CMC back, it's going to be tough to get some wins from Dylan's team. All right, moving on. I wanted to go to what the heck? Oh, it's me and Caleb. Me and Caleb's game. Let's take a look at 2 1-0 teams. Me versus Caleb. Grease Lightning football team. Caleb, come on, update that team name, dude. That's boring. I'm projected to win right now by 9 points, if that math is right. And rightfully so. I mean, my team's pretty good. Caleb gets the edge in Patrick Mahomes against Cincinnati. You don't hate it. They just lost to the Patriots. Mahomes should carve them up. If Anthony Richardson can run the ball and get in the end zone rushing, I think I'll get the advantage. But otherwise, I think Caleb does still get the advantage here. Both got good matchups. Derrick Henry against Vegas. You love it. Breece Hall against Tennessee. You love it. James Cook at Miami. Not terrible. Tony Pollard against the Jets, though. Jets do have a good D, although Jordan Mason just tore him up. So that one could go 50-50. We don't know yet. Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper. Jefferson with a tough matchup, but Amari Cooper could eat this week if Deshaun Watson learns how to throw the ball before Sunday. We will see. Sam Laporta, like I said, better days ahead. He should be fine this week. I love picking. Well, he might have Patrick Surtain on him, so not a good matchup from George Pickens. And then your defense, we'll see. As far as the rest of my team, my wide receivers both have solid matchups here. Chicago defense was good last week, but who knows? Njoku hurt. Puka hurt. I had to pick up a tight end. We'll see if Colby Parkinson can do good against the Cardinals. Matthew Stafford does love his tight ends. And then I'm probably going with David Montgomery again. I think he'll get in the end zone most weeks just because being that strong goal line back. I still think the edge is mine. I'm going to take me in this one. I just have a better team. It is what it is, you know. You do got Mahomes, who I love, Jefferson I love, and Laporta, but everyone else, I think my team has the advantage. All right, going to Justin versus Miller. 2 0-1 teams. Someone's going to get a win. That's how this thing works. I hate your matchup here. Joe Burrow coming to Arrowhead. Slim Shady going up against Patrick Mahomes and that stout defense. I hate it. He's going to suck. Dak Prescott against the Saints, who just tore up the Panthers, although Dak is about 1,000,000 times better than Bryce Young, so that doesn't scare me as much as everyone thinks. We'll see about his running backs. Both are questionable after week 1. Will they play? We don't know. He's going to have to make a decision Thursday on A-Chain. Both got okay matchups. We saw James Conner go off against Buffalo last week, so that could be fine. Don't like the Etienne matchup here, but Saquon will eat. I think he gets another 2 touchdowns. Book it. Devontae Smith, same. He's going to eat. Chris Godwin should be fine. Kittle, we'll see. Kittle's up and down. He's been up and down every year, so you just never know. And then Kamara at Dallas, I don't like that matchup. He could not have a good week like he did last week. Defenses really don't care. I think the advantage would go to the Steelers because they play Denver and Bo Nix in that terrible offense who just lost to the Seahawks. And they're a bad defense. So this one, I don't think it's going to be as close as it says. I think I'm going to give this one to Justin. I think he's going to win this one handedly, and he's going to move to 1-1. We're going to move to a very close game here. Communist Harris versus the replacements. Brady projected pretty high coming off that 80-point week. He is throwing Baker Mayfield in there. You love it. Against Detroit, though, their defense is pretty solid this year, but still should be okay. It's in a dome, so no weather factor there. Bijan and Ramondre, both with good matchups. Amon-Ra, I think he has a huge bounce-back week. And then Jalen Waddle should be good in this division game. We saw Kyler throw all over Buffalo, just not to Marvin Harrison or Trey McBride. Good matchups there. Looking at your receivers, I think they're both matchup proof, so very solid. I think Mike Evans outperforms. Tyreek's going to be right there. Both your running backs, I think Brian Robinson should eat against the Giants. They are bad. They might literally be the worst team in the league besides the Carolina Panthers. Mark Andrews, I'm expecting a huge bounce back. Like I said, Isaiah Likely, that's not going to happen much. It's not going to happen much. Justin Miller out here showing the love. Yeah, you're going to get that dub, bro. Your team's just better. Although he does have Cooper Kupp. Wait, did Mitch have Cooper Kupp in there? Nice, dude. Okay, he did. Yeah. Cooper Kupp's going to eat, though. Miller's still going to get the win. Who was I just looking at here? This team's, yeah. And then also Drake London should have a bounce back. I don't think Slay is going to shadow him. So, although this one Brady's going to have a better week, it will be close. I think I'm still going to give the edge to Dustin here, unless Bijan goes off, then Brady could take it. But I think Dustin is going to start out 2-0. And now for you know what I'm looking for. Our showdown of the week is Andrew Simon on his march for 4 championships and Alex Ray. 0.1 points difference in the projection, just a slight edge to Simon here, both with solid teams. Let's take a look at those matchups. Between the quarterbacks, this is a primetime game. I think Chicago's just a better defense than Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta just lost to the Steelers, who no one thought was going to win, especially with Justin Fields at quarterback. So expect Jalen Hurts to hit that projection or overperform. So I think the edge is there. Looking at your running backs, you got Mixon in Chicago, Jonathan Taylor at Green Bay. We all saw what Saquon did to Green Bay. I expect the same from Jonathan Taylor here. I think he overperforms for sure. And then Pacheco, going to have a good week. Gibbs, going to have a good week. Both all good matchups here. We'll see how Chicago looks up front, but I might have to give the running back advantage to A-Ray just because the matchups. Although Jonathan Taylor could outscore all of them. We'll see. Wide receivers, Terry McLaurin looking for a bounce back. Jamar Chase at Kansas City. Once again, you don't like it. It's in Arrowhead, and our defense is amazing. Rashee Rice and Debo, Minnesota, Cincinnati. Got a couple wide receivers going off against each other. Advantage A-Ray. We just don't know about McLaurin yet, except for it is the Giants, so he could have a surprisingly good week. A-Ray spending that money wisely and using it, putting Likely in as a starting tight end against the Raiders. You do love it. He's mainly their wide receiver 3. I don't think he puts up 20 points every game. I don't even think he puts up 10 points every game. I'm going to give the advantage here to Trey McBride against the Rams. I think he will finally find that end zone this week. And then both here, this could go either way. This is a toss-up. I think advantage is in favor of James Conner against the Rams, so I'm going to give it there. Defensively, Jets and Chiefs. I don't want to bet against the Chiefs, but I'd rather have the Jets against Will Levis than the Chiefs against Joe Burrow, even though Joe Burrow sucks. So advantage there. Kickers, Jake Moody for sure. Just kidding. This one's close. This one will be close. Based on matchups and advantages, I think A-Ray takes this one. I think the war for 4 goes down, and his struggle to get that 4th is going to be even tougher. I think I could look here at week 2. What? Oh, no. What? Oh, wait. Where'd that go? League Analyzer. Let's look at week 2. Ooh, it has me as number 1, followed by Dustin, Simon, A-Ray. That's why those 2 are up there. I mean, that's my team. Take a look at everyone's team. But we won't really get into that because this doesn't really give us anything. All right, well, that's about it. I got one more thing. We're going to put together a quick parlay on the game tomorrow night. Fun fact, the Bills have never lost a game by more than 6 points in their last 42 games. That is an actual stat. You can look it up. So I think even if the Bills lose, it's within a touchdown. I'm a big alternate guy. You know that. So my first pick would be Bills plus 7.5. I know the odds aren't great, but it is what it is. I also want to do Jeff Wilson yards because Mostert is out and Achane might be out. I would put Jeff Wilson in here if you could do some props, but I would take him for 40 yards rushing. Maybe even get crazy and do a Jeff Wilson Jr. touchdown. I don't hate that. Looking at receiving props, stay away from Curtis Samuel. I think Cade bounces back. I would take him for 40. And then for the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill's yards are always way too high for me to do. I know he could easily pop off for 100. But I think they're going to zone in on him. So I think the torch goes to Jalen Waddle, and I would take him for 50 or 60 here. If we do 60, we're looking at a plus 800 parlay. Book it. I like it. If you don't want to do his yards, I think Jalen Waddle's receptions would be up there for me. Yeah, I would take him for 5 catches or 60 yards. That's up to you. Lock it in. I can't place a bet because I'm not logged in. But hey, on to week 2. Okay, I think that's all I had. On to week 2. Good luck, everybody. Fantasy football is back. It's the best time of the year. Enjoy it. You all suck. I hope you all lose. And good night. Peace. Don't let them eat your pets.